Good morning, Facebook land. uh, I hope everyone's doing well today. Considering that, first off, I want to say that I feel for those that are in California, and it's super sad that those people just have not gotten a break this year. And how sad to just try to get out and save your life. And our prayers go out to everyone down there and anyone else that's experiencing any issues. If there's anything that you feel like in your heart that you want to do, I suggest do it. Okay? I know I'm going to try to get some things down there. I know there's many and plenty of people down there that simply need the everyday needs: clothes, socks, underwear, toothbrush, things that we take for granted every single day. So if there's a way for you to help, get some people together and figure out how you can help. So thank you for joining my continuing education today. See, I'm thinking about other things. And I never really know what I'm going to talk about when it comes to my continuing education. I never say, next week, join me for something, because I feel that it's got to come from my heart, and it's got to come from the people that I meet and the environment that I'm with or in at the time, because it's amazing to me how I can think of something or start talking to people, and it's like all of a sudden everybody or more than one person brings this particular issue up. So it's like, okay, that's what we're going to talk about, right? Because obviously it's important, or else I wouldn't get more than one person to bring it up in 1 week's time, or otherwise it doesn't ever come up. So that's my reasoning behind when I talk to you and give you some tips and information on using essential oils. So really, that's what this is all about. This is my continuing education, so to teach you what you can do in your own home that will help you on a daily basis. And it's so easy. Essential oils are amazing at what they can do for us. And most people have no idea really what that looks like and how easy it really can be. They have impacted my life. They've changed my life and my journey in life, along with a lot of other people that I've met along the way. This has been an incredible journey, and I couldn't see doing any other thing in my lifetime. This is something that continuously is something that people need and what people want. And I love that. So today, in conversation over the week, the idea of bipolar came up, or I should say the discussion of the bipolar came up more than one time. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you about depression, mood swings, okay? Mood swings, and how do we get to places like bipolarism or extreme depression? And in today's society, we have so much going on, and we have such busy lives, and we have an alarming amount of suicide also. And why is that? And I think that's something that we really need to look at and think about, because we tend to, as a society, we tend to look at people like there's nothing wrong with you. Well, you can't see what's going on the inside. You can only see what's going on the outside. And so when things like this creep up on us, that's where we've got to take the bull by the horns and be diligent and we got to look. We actually have to see what's going on around us. How many people do you see walking down a road that has their cell phone in their hand and they don't see what they're doing or where they're going? Even in a crosswalk. I'm like, come on, there's cars, right? You have to know what's going on around you. But not only in that way, is what's going on in your life? What's going on in the people that you know? Are you missing the signs? So first off, what are essential oils? Well, first thing, essential oils are aromatic compounds that come from plant matter, all plant matter, okay? I have plants in that they have aromatic compounds, but usually not until they have a flower. You smell something, okay? So as they smell something, that either aroma that you love or it's an aroma that you don't love, okay? But every single plant on this planet has a compound in it or an essential oil within it. That is its, I call it their lifeblood, okay? It's what either protects the plant, it creates hormones from the plants, it either attracts, like your pollinators, flowers do that, right? So think about that, all plant matter. God gave us what we need. We just gotta learn how to use it again. And so essential oils, I use doTERRA essential oils because of the integrity of the product. You may be using another product, and I really want you to really think about the product that you are using. Where are you getting it from? If you're getting it off the shelf, do your research. Where did it come from? Is it chemically extracted? Because people think that, well, it's just cheap. Okay, well, cheap doesn't necessarily give you the best product, okay? Really know what your product is and where it's coming from. Do your research and read a label. And buyer beware that just because it says 100% on the label does not mean that you're getting 100% true essential oil, okay? They only have to have a little bit in that bottle in order to say it's 100%. It can have other things in there too. But doTERRA goes through many different testing, and it's outsourced testing. It's third party, it's not their own, to ensure that before, during, and after the product hasn't been contaminated or adulterated. That's important because I want my product to work the same every single time I purchase it. So this is why I like using doTERRA. And there are several different ways you can use them aromatically. That is the fastest response to anything aromatic, right? Aromatherapy has been around forever. And so aromatherapy is one of those true things that help trigger the memories up here, okay? We either don't like them or we do like them, or it brings back bad memories, but it can also bring back those great memories, right? That's fun when it reminds you of grandma, or it reminds you of a place, or it reminds you of the ocean. Maybe you went on a great trip and something reminds you of that, okay? And then there's topical use. Apply it to you. It gets into your bloodstream. Within 30 seconds, you should have an essential oil will soak into the skin within 30 seconds. And within 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, it has affected every single cell in your body. That's amazing, right? Especially if it's just one drop. One drop goes a long way when it comes to doTERRA, because they're very potent. So like, let's look at peppermint. Peppermint's always a good one to look at, right? Because most of us know what peppermint is. We love using it. We buy it to put flavor in our foods when we cook or when we bake. But that's imitation. So if I get a true essential oil, one drop of doTERRA's peppermint is equal to about 28 cups of tea. That's amazing. Because I don't need a whole drop to flavor my brownies if that's what I want. For any flavoring, it only takes the dip of the toothpick. Is that cost effective? Absolutely. Why wouldn't you want the real thing? Instead of using a whole quarter teaspoon of alcohol-based something, because that's what it is. Read the labels. And then the third way is ingestion or internal consumption. Now, make sure that you read the label again as to whether or not you can have ingest that essential oil. If it has on the label that you can that you can't ingest it, then it does not meet the GRAS standard of the FDA, which is generally regarded as safe for consumption. Okay, just so you know that. So think, what else is in there that you can't consume it, especially if it's lavender or peppermint or orange. Those are things that you should be able to consume. Okay, just saying, right? Read your labels. Now with doTERRA, it's super easy to know, and I don't have one here that you can take internally, but I was going to show you that doTERRA has a supplement fact on the bottle, and that supplement fact actually says 1 drop in 4 fluid ounce of liquid. Okay, water, juice, coffee, tea, whatever it is, right? You can do that. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy out there, but I have a challenge for you. Start looking at labels at the grocery store and what do they have in there, especially flavoring. What are they saying is in there? Does it say essential oil, peppermint, essential oil, lemon? Like some of your products that you would like, instead of concentrated lemon, what else is in there? So take a look and start reading some labels. You might be surprised at how many products already have essential oils in them. Okay. All right. Enough of that. So we know how we use them: aromatically, topically, and internally. Not all essential oils you can use internally. Just beware of that. So let's talk about those mood swings. There's many reasons why we have mood swings. Now, if you're a woman, mood swings can be hormonal, right? Especially depending on your age. Especially if it's right before that time of the month, then we might be that grouchy person, right? It's like, oh, don't go around mom today because mom's kind of in that grouchy state. But maybe afterwards, we just are lost. We feel lost, okay? That's a hormonal imbalance, but that's also depression. If we take too long to recognize our mood swings and we're constantly keeping that in check or trying to keep it in check, then things happen to the body. Maybe you're stressed over financial issues. Maybe you're stressed over spousal issues. Maybe you're stressed over children. Maybe you're stressed over whatever it is. Stress creates a lot of extra cortisol. Extra cortisol is not good for us. I call it chemical soups because what the body does is create extra chemicals that we don't want, that create havoc in our bodies, okay? And so when we are constantly up, down, up, down, up, down, I feel like we went up and down the stairs all the time. Think about the things that your mind is doing. And what will happen to a lot of people, and mood swings can come from other things too. And we get to that state of mind where we're like, we're lost. We feel lost. We feel like we can't get it done. We feel like we're overwhelmed and we don't have that joy in our life. Or we're constantly, when we do have joy in our life, we still feel like we're lost. We feel like we're sad, okay? Now, whether it comes from some of the things that can create that is trauma. We know that. As adults, as children, okay? way back. It could have started when we were just tiny, tiny. You don't know what can influence us as a child. So many things influence us as a child, especially by the time we're age 5. So think back in your life, what happened in your lifetime when you were a young child? What was happening? Because a lot of times we can go back to those times and things fester and they fester. And it's no different than PTSD or anything like that. We could have just been afraid of a little spider, and then we manifest that as we get older. Just that can bring depression to us and bring different thoughts into our heads. And so I want you to look at what you were doing when you were 5 and under, or between 5 and maybe 12, okay? Those are other factors. Think about those things. But we can get depression from so many reasons. But if we consistently don't do anything about it, then what happens is our minds, our neural pathways create like a black cloud. I'll call it a black cloud, okay? And how do you change those neural pathways? How do you change your thought process? It's super hard, especially if it continues to go more and more and more and more. So like bipolarism is a consistency of depression, up and down, up and down. You're depressed for a few days, and then you're a manic depression, which is your manic, where you are just happy, 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 right? Everything is great, and then all of a sudden you're just crash, okay? And then everything is sad, and then you constantly are back and forth. But what happens is when you're constantly down, then you've got people that are looking for something to help them, because it's really, really difficult to even diagnose the bipolarism. And there's many other problems out there, or diseases that are really difficult to diagnose, get a true diagnosis. And it could take up to 10 years for someone to be diagnosed with bipolarism, or even like some people, even if they have a thyroid issue, it can, whether it's Hashimoto's, whether it's Lyme's disease. There's so many diseases out there that take time for people to finally get diagnosed correctly, so that they have the correct issue or correct medication, or what they can do for that, right? Now, we're talking about essential oils. So what do essential oils have to do with depression? What do essential oils have to do with any of this? Well, I am here to tell you that essential oils have the ability to change your mood. They do. And it's so simple. All you've got to do is take the bottle, take the lid off, okay? Put the lid off, and smell it, okay? Now, is that going to be a one-size-fits-all? No, okay? I'm not saying that you don't need medication. What I am saying is that this little bottle can help you or help someone in a different way than medication does, okay? So I said that if you smell something, it triggers memories in here, right? So if we're triggering positive response, doesn't that help us get out of a depressed mood? Maybe it makes us feel cheery and not sad anymore. So that's what an essential oil can do. Find that essential oil that you love to smell, or anything that you love to smell. Now, when we talk about essential oils do have the ability to help change those neural pathways. We're going to trick the brain into not only a positive emotion, create it, come back to a positive emotion. We are going to, they are actually going to help in changing the direction of our neural pathways. And I think that's so cool. It's awesome because they have that ability. There's plenty of studies out there that show us from time and time again on how easy or how well they can work neurologically. Now with doTERRA, they have plenty of different essential oils that can help us, okay, when it comes to mood swings. And they have a great emotional aromatherapy that they have out there. And there's several, and I put that in the chats. There's an emotional wheel that also talks about the different essential oils for emotion specifically. And the wheel is really, really super nice to have because it tells us, it shows us, not tells us, it shows us the different emotions that we feel and what oil that we might want to use. And I think that's a great resource to help us identify and use specific oils. Now, another oil that's not mentioned on that wheel is called Balance. This is Balance. There we go. Okay, so there's Balance. This has got frankincense and hoe wood in there. It's also got blue tansy. And I think it's a great, or not blue tansy, sorry, blue chamomile. And I love this because it helps in reducing those stress factors in the body. Not just the physical smell that you're getting, okay? And not just the emotional smell. It's helping reduce the level that I have inside, not just on the outside. So like if I have a horse that is stressed, let's say they're colicky. For those of you that don't know what a horse and colic is, and I apologize for the sun, it's coming right in here. There we go. I'll move a little bit so that I'm not quite in the sunshine. I love the sunshine, but sometimes it's like, oh, come on. So for those of you that don't know about a horse, so colicky horse is an impaction of the intestinal intestines. In other words, they're not pooping. We get that way too, but it's called constipation. Okay, but the thing is that whether all of those things create stress, okay, in the body. Their stress alarm is like way up here versus way down here. So bergamot's really good for that in more ways than one. And just letting them smell that to help reduce their anxiety, okay, that stress level. And that's what we're trying to do for you, is help you reduce that stress level. And, you know, we already know that there's thousands of triggers out there that cause emotional upset, right? But really, what can we do that will that will help and bring that emotional upset down, that up and down factors? And we know that those little things when we were young, maybe we were abused, you know, there's environmental issues out there, factors in that. Maybe you lost someone very dear to you, that we fester over some of that stuff. And so essential oils can have the ability, they do have the ability to help us come back to that better state of mind. And simply by taking the lid off and smelling it. Now, Balance is one of those, and this is more or less a daily one that I have every single day because I don't know when I'm going to be under more stress than the day before, okay? So frankincense is so good for that. And you can use frankincense. There's many different essential oils that you can use, okay? And then there's like Motivate is really, really super good, okay? This is our encouraging blend. doTERRA's encouraging blend. And then there is Cheer, which is an uplifting blend. And then there is Console, which is a comforting blend. I love all of these because they smell very intriguing. But here's what I'm going to have you do if you're looking for something to help you when you get into that dark cloud, okay? Whether you go to super supplements, I don't care where you go, okay? If you don't have the ability to get an essential oil, then find someone that does. And always, please, you can always reach out to me at any time. And every time you put an essential oil that you love, and keep it in your pocket, keep it in your purse, wherever you go, have that essential oil with you. All you have to do is take it out of your purse, take it out of your pocket, take the lid off, and just simply inhale, okay? Do that several times. Help this come back to a more positive state, okay? Keep those extra stress levels from getting the better end of you. And yes, if you've been diagnosed with things like bipolarism, then these are things that you can use in conjunction with what you're doing already. And once we have disease, it never leaves us. We can keep it to a dull roar at some point. And when it comes to depression and those mood swings or bipolarism, whatever it is, the key ingredient is your nutrition. Nutrition is so super important. Even if you don't think, well, first off, if you think that you need nutrition, then start looking at supplements. doTERRA has a great supplement line called Lifelong Vitality. Oh my gosh, that stuff it's been a lifesaver for me and my husband. But even if you think you're eating correctly and eating well, I really want you to think about what it is that you are putting in your body. Are you really truly getting all the nutrition in your I can't get away from the sun. Sorry. Are you really getting all the nutrition that you need? That is something to really look at, because nutrition, if you don't have the right nutritional values, then your body can absorb the nutrition. So you have to have the vitamin D, you have to have the zinc, you have to have the magnesium, you have to have all these things to help your body be well and to receive the nutrition out of your foods, okay? So think about what you do and think about the things that you are currently doing now. What can you do to improve your overall performance or your overall state of mind? Now I'm going to sit backwards a little bit. Okay, I think we're going to have to find a different spot. Anyway, so really consider what you're doing, and then what is your outlet? So like people with MF, I know several now that, more than that, but their outlook is they have found that working out is their best way of getting that stress out of there and keeping those muscles going. Who would have thought, right? For someone with MS to want to work out. I think it's awesome. So the other part of this is finding what works best for you. What can you do more to create a better environment? Unfortunately, especially us in the United States, we rely too much on our doctors to tell us what to do, instead of us being our own advocate and decide on what we can do better or add to the regimen we're already doing. So I hope that you get a little bit of information out of this, and I really hope that you will think about the things that you are currently doing really take a good look at the nutrition that you're eating every single day. And I truly hope that you're not skipping meals, because skipping meals is not a good thing, okay? Because even losing weight very quickly or gaining weight very quickly is another way to create depression, okay? If you're constantly battling your weight, that's another sign of, another way of creating depression. And then we go on binges, okay? So really, really, truly think about that, because there's good in everything. We just have to balance it out, okay? Balance is so important. Help and balance your hormones. And if you're looking for something, you women that are looking for something to balance your hormones out and you don't want estrogen, doTERRA has a phenomenal product called phytoestrogen. And no, it's not estrogen, it's an estrogenic. So what it does is help balance those hormones. And for women, you need a whole lot of magnesium. And so we have, doTERRA has a bone nutrient, and you put that together with your phytoestrogen, and it helps balance 27 different hormones. And so when you think about that, we're not just balancing our estrogen and testosterone, we're balancing a whole bunch of other ones. And we have tons. We have over 100 different hormones in our body. So let's take care of them, right? And do it well. So think about it. Take care of your body. Make sure that you're getting the nutrition that you need, that your body needs. And when you're snacking, don't reach for the candy bar. Reach for something that's good. Reach for an apple. Reach for a banana. Now, sometimes, you know, depending on you, you may not be able to have those, but there are plenty of nutrition that you can have as a snack, okay? And that will fill you up. So if you're doing energy drinks and you can't find that good common ground, get rid of the energy drinks. You're tearing up your stomach and find something better, okay? And I'm going to enjoy the sun today, and I really, truly hope that you got something out of this. And again, feel free to reach out to me at any point in time. My email is heavensent, S-E-N-T, oil@gmail.com. So heavenscentoil@gmail.com. Always reach out to me. And thank you again for being here. And if you're listening to the replay, thank you for listening and enjoy what I teach. And if you have something that you would like to add at any time, feel free to reach out to me in that way too and send me something, whether it's good or bad. I'm always up for anything. And let me know what's in your world, or maybe there's something that you found that is truly a blessing and has been able to help you. And I know that these essential oils have been a blessing for many people in my lifetime and the people that I meet consistently. And I love my journey of being able to help people. So you guys have a great one, and we will see you next week.